Officer Dave, would you open the courtroom, please?
The state of Michigan 36th District Court is now in session with the Honorable Judge David S. Robinson Jr. presiding. Court is now in session. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. Let's start with 6:41. It's going to be Rusin and King.
Morning, Judge.
Morning, Counsel. Hello. I have Megan King, but haven't run in yet. Let's see what's happening here. Mr. Rusin King is not apparently coming in. So I'll put you back in the waiting room.
Okie dokie, Judge.
Good morning.
Wait, apparently she's here.
All right.
After I put her back in the waiting room.
Uh-huh.
Let's see what happens. You with us now?
Yes, I'm here.
This is file number 22-179-641. Credit acceptance versus Megan King. Date and time for pretrial. Your appearance.
Judge, may it please the court, my name is Attorney Richard Grusin. My bond number 35222. I'm the attorney of record, and I'm the attorney of record today on this first pretrial.
And what is your name, ma'am?
Megan King.
Your intention to represent yourself in this matter?
Yes, sir.
You have an absolute constitutional right to do that. What you do not have is to write your own set of rules of civil procedure, your own rules of evidence, and your own statutes. If you elect to represent yourself, as is your constitutional right, the same rules that bind Mr. Rusin will be binding on you. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right, before we go any further, ma'am, you sent a communication to the court dated August 6, 2022, described as to whom it may concern. You may not. Did you send a copy of that to Mr. Rusin, the other side?
Yes, sir.
All right. Where are we on this file then, people?
Just a second, Judge. I'm trying to see if I got that August 6th document. I am, okay, I did get the letter, yes. Okay. So where we are right now, Judge, is that I served defendant with written discovery on August the 11th. Under Michigan court rule, defendant is still within the time to file written answers to that written discovery to move the case forward. And that's all I can report to you now as an officer of the court.
Okay. Ma'am, is there anything you want to tell the court?
Not at this time.
All right. Are you intending to do any discovery like Mr. Rusin did?
I thought that's what that was.
No, ma'am, that was not. That was a letter to the court. You can use the Michigan court rules, describe the things that you can do by way of written discovery. Those include written interrogatories to be answered under oath, request for production of documents, and request for admissions.
So you said I go to what, Judge?
Go to the Supreme Court of Michigan's website, look up the Michigan court rules. And you look in the chapter concerning discovery. Okay, we'll give you guys another date. We'll get rolling then.
All right.
Because September 20 at 10 o'clock. Does that work for everybody?
September
Yes,
20th,
sir.
10 o'clock is fine, Judge. Thank you.
What I'll do is I'll continue your written discovery. September 20, you and I will talk again at 10 o'clock. Thank you all for coming in. We're off the record.
Thank you, Judge.
Be safe out there.
All right. I have one second and last one, Judge.
Okay? Hang on a second.
Yeah, the last three numbers I have to conclude your docket is 256.
See if I have the other side of it. Yes. All right, let's see what we got. That is 396, you say?
Last three numbers are 256.
256. I don't have a 256.
All right. Well, maybe somebody made a error on. Well, that's interesting. I'm looking at the objection to garnishment for, oh, look at that. It is for tomorrow. I guess I'll see you tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah.
All right. Thank you, Judge. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Mr. Kirschenheiter, good morning.
Morning, Judge. How are you?
I'm not bad. How about yourself?
Not too bad.
What do you got?
I got two with you today. I have the last three, 702, which is credit acceptance, and Charles Taylor.
Okay.
And then I have another credit acceptance versus Tiana Holden, which is 054.
Okay, I don't have anybody on either of your cases yet.
Okay.
Back in the waiting room, I have one more person left in my waiting room. Let's see what they're here for. Hello?
Yes, hello.
Who are you?
Jordan Irby.
All right, I don't have the other side as of yet. So I'll check you in and we'll get back to you as soon as the other side appears. I'm back in the waiting room. It's Francesca. We are on the record calling file number 211666702, credit exceptions versus Charles Taylor, Isis King Hill. By a notice dated August 1st, 2022, this matter is set for hearing today, August 23rd at 10 o'clock on the plaintiff's motion to reinstate the case. Could I ask to Mr. Taylor, could I have your appearance, please?
Yes, good morning, Your Honor. Michael Kirschenheiter for the plaintiff, P75722.
Sir, have you received any pleadings from Mr. Taylor?
I'm not, Your Honor.
Have your office had any communication with Mr. Taylor?
No, Your Honor.
Sir, your motion.
Thank you, Your Honor. As you indicated, this is plaintiff's motion to reinstate a dismissed action. Mr. Taylor was properly served. We did receive, however, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It looks like we did receive the order denying the default
Because he didn't send in the SCRA status report.
That's correct, Your Honor. However, it was mislabeled in our system, and that's kind of what started this down the wrong path. So there was a clerical error that started that, and then we did get the notice of intent to dismiss. I'm not sure why my office didn't move at that point. So obviously, we would like it to be reinstated, but if not, we'll just have to refile. I don't want to blow smoke on what happened. So
Yeah, I think the problem here is that your office apparently has a procedure when you send in a default but it doesn't have a what happens if it's not granted.
right.
It has only a one-way decision tree. And that's where everything went wrong. But in this case, the court is satisfied, having reviewed the pleadings, that you were entitled to default as to Mr. Taylor. He was in fact timely served with summons and complaint and failed to answer. Your unopposed motion to reinstate the case is therefore granted, and I'll send out that order today. I guess the next thing I will get from you will be a request for default accompanied by an SCRA status report.
Absolutely, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, let's call your next file. This is file number 22140-054. This file is entitled Credit Acceptance versus Shanetta Holden, Tiana Holden. Your appearance, please.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. Michael Kirschenheiter for the plaintiff, P75722.
This, Mr. Kirschenheiter, is another motion on your behalf, seeking to reinstate the file.
Yes, that's correct, Your Honor. Go ahead, sorry.
Your motion, sir.
Thank you. As you indicated, Your Honor, this is plaintiff's motion to reinstate the dismissed action. Defendant was properly served. This one, the default actually was entered, but we did not receive it. So we couldn't serve it on defendant. And then we also actually didn't receive the notice of intent to dismiss. We've had a little bit of an issue with that with your court. So we filed the motion once the case was dismissed. We've not heard anything from defendant. We did serve the motion on defendant. So we would ask that the motion be granted.
The court sent notice of this motion to the parties by a notice dated August 1st, 2022. On that date, the matter set for hearing today at August 23rd at 10 o'clock. It's now 10:18. There have been no pleadings on behalf of the defendant. Your unopposed motion to reinstate the case, sir, will also be granted.
Thanks, Judge.
Might be time for tweaking of the program.
I agree with you. It's something we're obviously discussing. We've had some issues and we'd like to get it cleaned up.
Makes life simpler and saves you $20.
I agree. Thanks a lot, Judge. I appreciate it.
Be safe.
Have a great day.
Off the record. Hello,
Yes, hello.
we are on the record calling file 22190-396, Jordan Irby versus Keys Auto Sales. What is your name?
Jordan Irby.
This matter comes before the court by way of a complaint filed in the General Civil Division against Keys Auto Sales by Mr. Irby. On the 28th of July, the court got a letter on the letterhead of Keys Auto Sales from someone who described themselves as the office manager, Treating that as an answer, the court sent out a notice on July 29th, 2022, setting this matter for pretrial conference today, August 23rd at 10 o'clock. It's now after 10:30, excuse me. That pretrial order specifically provided, quote, defendant shall appear by counsel. It's now after 10:30, the matter scheduled at 10 o'clock. Defendant has failed to appear. The default of defendant Keys Auto Sale is hereby entered. Sir, we're going to send you out a copy of that default. Your next move will be to file your motion and serve your motion for default judgment. Thank you for coming in. We're off.
Thank you. Appreciate
Get out in the mail today, sir.
you. Okay.
Yes, sir. A hometown Detroit Symphony Orchestra within the Army conducted 2 years back. The acoustic gem that is Orchestra Hall, right here in Midtown Detroit, just across the island. Symphony number 3 by Frank Whitney. Post World War II classic.
The Water Lantern Festival is an event that's all about the thousands of lanterns adored with letters of love, hope, and dreams reflected upon the water. The Water Lantern Festival is coming on August 27th at the Lake St. Clair Metro Park in it's open at 5:30 p.m. with food, music, and fun. For more information, visit Water Lantern Festival.
Detroit, Windsor, Ann Arbor, Southeast Michigan, Southern Ontario's only fall festival. Thank you for supporting this non-commercial listener supported. Our website. Thanks again very much.
this at the harpsichord keyboard with tuned by George Gregory Finley. Before Giacomo Puccini became famous, he wrote the symphonies. The sentiments is the elements during the attack from the young and those. I'm going to Gene. Today, and that's it.
All right, let's start, I guess, with Mr. Beach. Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Do you have any response to your motion?
There was no response that we received, Your Honor.
Okay, we'll give them a couple more minutes.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Weberman, what brings you here today?
I have two motions for entry of default judgment. One is HS versus Miley
HS versus Lucas.
and HS versus Lucas. Yep.
Have you received any pleadings in regard to yours?
I have not, Your Honor.
Okay, I don't have your opponent yet. Back to the waiting room for a couple of minutes.
All right, thank you.
And back again, Mr. Kirschenheiter.
That's correct, Judge. How are you?
Good. You've got, by a process of elimination, credit acceptance versus Yasmin Harris.
Correct. I haven't gotten anything from Ms. Harris.
Okay, couple more minutes and we'll get back and get started.
Thanks, Judge.
Thank you.
WRCJ-FM Tuesday, midday music with Peter Wolf with some performances hiding for you this hour. Also, the 20th century Sylvestre Revueltas. And we begin with another 20th century alternative 20th century composer and pianist, Moritz Buschhausen, who was born in the States. August 54, he lived until 1945. Mr. Moritz Buschhausen, who was a piano prodigy, born to deeper entertainment, inspire us. By 19, he made his successful public debut. There's two facts. Just like that, Moritz Buschhausen was performing with Franz Liszt. Yeah, this guy comes in. Fact 5. Paderewski, another really fine pianist, contemporary of Moritz Buschhausen, said that after Chopin, this was the guy who understood the piano best. He was writing the piano. It's simple that Moritz naturally. Moritz Buschhausen, birthday composer for Piers Lennon, stars.
We are on the record calling 2-1-167-673 Credit Acceptance Corporation versus Jazia Harris. This matter before the court today by notice dated August 1st, 2022, sent to the parties on plaintiff's motion to reinstate the case. The matter scheduled for hearing at 11 o'clock is now 11:10. Could I have your appearance?
Yes, good morning, Your Honor. Michael Kirschenheiter for the plaintiff, P75722.
Mr. Kirschenheiter, have you had any response from the defendant to your motion?
We have not, Your Honor.
Sir, please proceed with your motion.
Thank you, Your Honor. As you indicated, this is plaintiff's motion to reinstate dismissed action. This is a file where defendant was properly served and we processed a default. However, it was denied by the court because we did not provide that CRA as it happened in an earlier file in front of Your Honor. We are asking that the case be reinstated. We have not heard, defendant has not filed a response to the motion. And if the case is reinstated, obviously we would proceed properly with that CRA form.
Your unopposed motion will be granted. It appears the plaintiff was in fact able to effectuate service on the defendant. The failure here is plaintiff's failure to provide SCRA status report when the request is made for default judgment.
Thanks, Judge.
The form, if you read it, says plaintiff defendant is not in the military service. And then it says, how I know. And nobody ever writes clairvoyant. So given that absence, I'm looking for a form.
No, I understand. I understand, Judge. Obviously we do those forms all the time. I'm not quite sure what happened on these, but I'll get it taken care of.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, take care,
Have a
Judge.
great day. Let's be safe. We're off the record. Mr. Beach next. This is file number 21-171-632, Genesis Recovery Service versus Danielle Roberts. Could I have your appearance, please?
Good morning, Your Honor. Michael Beach, BEACH for the plaintiff, P45459.
By notice dated August 3rd, 2022, this matters before the court today on plaintiff's motion to amend the default judgment. Notice of today's hearing was sent to both parties. Matter scheduled at 11 o'clock. It's almost 11:15. Mr. Beach, do you have any pleadings from Ms. Roberts?
I have not received a response, Your Honor.
Sir, your motion.
Yes, Your Honor, the default judgment was through clerical error mistakenly submitted for an incorrect amount. It appears that one of our clerks here overstated the amount of damages by $75. I've spoken with her and she believes that she mistakenly added the $75 attorney fee to the damage amount. It was a clerical error and we're asking that the judgment be corrected to reflect the amount prayed for in our complaint.
So the damages will be reduced to $18,1659 from what was entered in the default judgment.
Well, the damages will be reduced to $1641.23 and the damages amount, the total would be reduced
Total reduced
also.
from $1891.59 to $1816.59.
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right, there's no prejudice to the defendant to having a smaller judgment. Defendant has failed to appear. The unopposed motion, sir, is granted.
Thank you, Your Honor. There was an order. Did you sign the order that we submitted?
I have it, but I will sign it. This is my file.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good day.
All right, let's be safe. We are on the record calling 2-2-181-089 HS Financial Group LLC versus Terrell Smiley. Could I have your appearance, please?
Good morning, Your Honor. Daniel Weberman, P76609 on behalf of the plaintiff.
By notice dated August 4th, 2022, this matter is scheduled today, August 23rd at 11 o'clock on the plaintiff's motion to enter default judgment. Sir, have you received any pleadings from the other side?
I have not, Your Honor.
I note for the record that your default was apparently entered on May 31st, 2022. Sir, please proceed with your motion.
Yes, Your Honor. This complaint was filed On March 9th, 2022, a summons and complaint were personally served in April 1st, 2022. That is attached to our pleadings. On April 26th, 2022, we did send out proof of service, default request, an entry and default judgment, along with a non-military affidavit and proof of service. As it was properly served and not answered within 21 days. On May 13th, 2022, the court entered a default judgment.
No, we entered default.
Default entry, sorry, Your Honor. The copy of that default entry was sent on May 25th, 2022. And the defendant has still failed to respond. Therefore, we ask the court enter the default judgment in the amount of $2,228.34.
Sir, your unopposed motion will be granted.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Let's call your next file, which is file number 22182-013, HS Financial Group LLC versus Tracy Lucas. By a notice dated August 4th, 2022, this matter is scheduled for hearing today, August 23rd at 11 o'clock on the plaintiff's motion to enter default judgment. It's now after 11:15. I note for the record that the register of action indicates you were able to achieve personal service on or about April 3rd, 2022, and the default of the defendant was entered on June 10th of 2022. Have you received any pleadings in response to your motion seeking default judgment?
We have not, Your Honor.
Sir, your motion.
Yes, Your Honor. As you stated, for the record, the summons and complaint was personally served on April 23rd, 2022. On May 19th, 2022, we sent in the request for default along with the applicable documents, proofs of service. The defendant failed to answer, and on June 10th, 2022, the court entered a default that was sent to the defendant, and a proof of service is attached. The defendant has failed to answer. Therefore, we request the entry of the default judgment in the amount of $1,855.70.
Sir, that appears to be consistent with the relief sought in your complaint. The defendant has failed to appear. Your default judgment will be entered, there being no opposition. Have a nice day.
Thank you. You too, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. Be safe. We're off the record.